Hello, today I'm going to talk about the business profit system. And in particular, just an overview of the profit system. I'm going to focus in this video on the 5 levels of business owner. But there you can see the 5 levels of business owner, how it all fits together is the 3 key pillars of business, which I'll cover in another video, and the 9-step roadmap, which I'll also cover in another video. So getting stuck in, the 5 levels of business owner. I want to show you how the 5 levels of business ownership work so that you have a sense of where you're heading and where you might be now in different areas of your business. I'll list these 5 quickly, then I'm going to go through each one individually. So level 1 is overwhelmed. Level 2 is overworked, which is where a lot of owners feel they're stuck. Level 3, organized. This is absolutely critical. Very few owners ever really do this. Most people overlook it or know they need to do it and may have thought about it, but never make the time to actually put this level in place properly. If you actually get the whole business to this level, it has a big impact on the bottom line and starts to free you from the business. Level 4, the overseer, which if you've ever truly experienced this level, even temporarily, you'll know feels dramatically different than even the previous level. But we estimate that less than 4% of business owners ever build a business that runs at this level sustainably. Level 5, the owner. So let's go through these and I'll explain the symptoms of each level so you can figure out where you are, and then we'll discuss how you move yourself up the levels by focusing on the most important things. Because if you try to do it out of order, it's like trying to build the floor 100 of a skyscraper before you've even dug the foundation. The building is going to come tumbling down. So, level 1, overwhelm. Owners who experience this level don't know what to do next. There are too many fires to put out that they can't even run the day-to-day operations. So, for some owners, this may be just at the start of the business when they're figuring everything out. But for the vast majority, this is a recurring level for them, especially when they try to start new projects or to grow the business. One of the primary ways they try to tackle this is through sheer brute force and determination, which may work briefly for a period of time to move them up to the next level. This is overworked, level 2. This level is exhausting because the owner is trying to micromanage everything because the team is not properly trained and they don't have the systems in place. We estimate that 90% of business owners fall into this level 1 or 2 most of the time, with maybe only the brief moments in some areas of the business at the next levels. The business is completely dependent on them. If they stepped away for a time, the business would fail. In many cases, the owners would have more freedom and income if they went and got a job elsewhere. If you can't take 4 weeks off without checking in with the business, you probably fall into this level. For most people, the shift is going to come from going up from this next level. So level 3, organized. This is where the owners started to focus on the 2 things you need in order to create robust, profitable, sustainable business that runs without you. The 2 P's, processes and people. The aim is to create the processes, then have the people run the process, and the processes run the business. Don't worry, we can cover this later in another video. However, this requires strategic thinking and planning and requires you to start working on your business rather than just in it. This is easier said than done, but it's well worth the rewards because in doing this, you're sowing the seeds to start creating real freedom for you. At this level, you'll be able to take a few days off from the business without taking calls as well. And when you come back, things will still be running as smoothly as when you left. This is the foundation to move up to the next level. Level 4, the overseer. Owners at this level are really starting to make the shift from being an operator to an owner. They spend more time working on the business and improving the processes and the people and managing the teams than working in the business. Very few business owners achieve this level without reading, learning, and being mentored by people who know how to create a business that can run without the owners. It's just too much to figure out on your own most of the time. You can't achieve this level through just hard work. You'll just get stuck in a cycle of more and more responsibility being on you until you just can't handle it and everything comes tumbling down. This is why many owners who try to free themselves from the business end up having to step back in because they don't have the proper structures in place. You need a team you can trust that's 5 steps ahead of you and is invested in your vision. Once you arrive at this level, though, it's well worth the effort. And this is the level most business owners think of when they first start the business. The freedom to come and go with the money still coming in, and they're there to lead and inspire the team. However, this is not the highest level. Level 5, ownership, is where you've created the people and the processes that run the business for you, and then hired and trained someone to be the overseer for you. They can then continue to improve and grow the business for you, and this requires minimal input from you and effort on your behalf. This is where true freedom exists, because now you have the ability to enjoy time with your family, pursue your passions, or you may still love working in the business, but this is 100% now a choice that you're making. You know the business will still grow even when you just show up at quarterly meetings and the team barely needs your input just to ask you the big strategic directions. You've truly built something of value that runs and grows without you. So those are the 5 levels, and it's all about going from chaos and trapped to really control and freedom at the end of the day.